Hello, welcome to the stream. Today we have more PortSwigger Web Security Academy. Today we are doing NoSQL injection. This demo is for educational purposes only. Ethical hacking is legal and differs from illegal hacking. Always ensure you have legal permission before performing what you see in this demo. Go full screen on my Linux VM here. There we go. Full screen on this. There we go. Alright, so like I said, NoSQL injection. This learning path covers the detection, exploitation, and prevention of NoSQL injection vulnerabilities. You'll explore the differences between NoSQL and SQL injection, learn how to perform NoSQL syntax injection, and how to use NoSQL operators to manipulate queries. So we're just going to go ahead and get started here. So, types of NoSQL injection. There are two types of NoSQL injection. Syntax injection. This occurs when you can break the NoSQL query syntax, enabling you to inject your own payload. The methodology is similar to that used in SQL injection. However, the nature of the attack varies significantly as NoSQL databases use a range of query languages, types of query syntax, and different data structures. Operator injection. This occurs when you can use NoSQL query operators to manipulate queries. In this topic, we'll look at how to test for NoSQL vulnerabilities in general, then focus on exploiting vulnerabilities in MongoDB, which is the most popular NoSQL database. We've also provided some labs so you can practice what you've learned. What's up, Al? How's it going? Thanks for stopping in. How you doing today? NoSQL syntax injection. You can potentially detect NoSQL injection vulnerabilities by attempting to break this query syntax. To do this systematically, test each input by submitting fuzz strings and special characters that trigger a database error on some other detectable behavior if they're not adequately sanitized or filtered by the application. If you know the API language of the target address database, use special characters and fuzz strings that are relevant to that language. Otherwise, use a variety of fuzz strings to target multiple API languages. Detecting syntax injection in MongoDB. Consider a shopping application that displays products in different categories. When the user selects the fizzy drinks category, their browser requests the following URL. This causes the application to send a JSON query to retrieve relevant products from the product collection in MongoDB database. This .category equals fizzy. To test whether the input may be vulnerable, submit a fuzz string to in the value of the category parameter. As an example string from MongoDB is that. Use this fuzz string to instruct the following attack. And we got this here. This will cause, why can't I scroll? If this causes a change from the original response, this may indicate that user input isn't filtered or sanitized correctly. Note, NoSQL injection vulnerabilities can occur in a variety of contexts, and you need to adapt your fuzz strings accordingly. I don't know why I can't scroll. This is driving me nuts. Otherwise, you may simply trigger validation errors that mean the application never executes your query. In this example, we're injecting the fuzz string via the URL, so the string is URL encoded. In some applications, you may need to inject your payload by a JSON property instead. In this case, the payload will become that. Geez, man, I don't even know what that means. Determining which characters are processed. To determine which characters are interpreted as syntax by the application, you can inject individual characters. For example, you could submit a single quote, which results in the following MongoDB query: this category equals single quote. This will cause a change from the original response. This may indicate that the single quote character has broken the query syntax and caused a syntax error. You can confirm this by submitting a valid query string in the input, for example, by escaping the quote. If this doesn't cause a syntax error, this may mean that the application is vulnerable to an injection attack. Confirming conditional behavior. After detecting a vulnerability, the next step is to determine whether you can influence Boolean conditions using NoSQL syntax. To test this, send two requests, one with a false condition, one with a true condition. For example, you could use the conditional statements this and this as follows. So here they are practically. If the application behaves differently, this suggests that the false condition impacts the query logic, but the true condition doesn't. This indicates that injecting this style of syntax impacts a server-side query. Overriding existing conditions. Now that you have identified that you can influence Boolean conditions, you can attempt to override existing conditions to exploit the vulnerability. For example, you can inject a JavaScript condition that always evaluates the true, such as this. This results in the following MongoDB query. As the injected condition is always true, the modified query returns all items. This enables you to view all the products in any category, including hidden or unknown categories. Warning: take care when injecting a condition that always evaluates the true with a NoSQL query. Although this may be harmless in the initial context you're injecting into, it's common for applications to use data from a single request in multiple different queries. If an application uses it when updating or deleting data, for example, this can result in accidental data loss. I need to pop up. One second here, guys. I gotta pop up my one of my streaming tools here so I can see recent events. That way, if I miss someone's follow, I can go back and see it. What's up, Cypher? How's it going? Thanks for stopping in. Are you the only one here? I think you're the only one in the YouTube chat so far, or at least in the chat. I have no idea how many people are watching. I genuinely do not like pay attention to the numbers. So I don't know. I'm assuming there's more people watching. You're just the first one in the YouTube chat. There was one comment in the LinkedIn chat. So I just started what 10 minutes ago. Dang, it's already been 10 minutes. What's up, Cyber Mage? Thanks for stopping in. Glad to see you here. How you doing today? Has it been a while? Every day's been a blur for me. I feel like I'm streaming all the time, and like all the streams are like one continuous stream for me because I'm doing it so often. I feel like you was in here last stream, but I don't know. Like I said, everything feels like the same stream to me. But welcome back. Overriding existing conditions continued. You can also add a null character after the category value. MongoDB may ignore all characters after a null character. This means that any additional conditions on the MongoDB query are ignored. For example, the query may have an additional this.release restriction. This category equals fizzy and this. Okay, you guys can read. I'm not going to read it. This restriction is used only to show products that are released. For unreleased products, presumably this release equals 0. Alright. In this case, an attacker will construct an attack as follows. Like that. This results in the following NoSQL query. If MongoDB ignores all characters after the null character, this removes the requirement for the release field to be set to 1. As a result, all products in the fizzy category are displayed, including unreleased products. What's up, Death Bestower? X! Thanks for stopping in. I always say Death Bestower. I never say the X, so I had to emphasize the X that time for the lack of me saying X the previous 20 times he's been here. He's probably been here more than 20 times, to be honest with you. You missed the last 2 weeks? Well, I didn't stream last week, so everybody on YouTube missed last week's stream. I did stream last week, but only on LinkedIn, Twitch, and Kick because YouTube struck my video, my Wi-Fi hacking video, and because it was a strike, I wasn't allowed to upload anything for the past week on YouTube. So, yeah, you did miss a stream because I did stream not on YouTube, but as far as YouTube streams goes, you didn't miss one because there wasn't a YouTube stream last week. Because YouTube, like I said, struck my video down and put me on a 1 week upload ban, which is most unfortunate. But you know, hey, such is life as a elite hacker, I guess. Harmful or dangerous content, because I taught people how to hack Wi-Fi, even though I clearly put a disclaimer in there about ethical hacking, and you should only do it on systems that you have permission to do it on, or systems that you're on. Even after I say educational purposes only, still no good. I mean, I think the YouTube moderators have a severe case of brain rot, and I'll leave it at that. Detecting NoSQL injection. This product category filter in this lab is powered by MongoDB NoSQL database. It is vulnerable to NoSQL injection. To solve the lab, perform a NoSQL injection attack that causes the application to display unreleased products. They're clearly haters. Yeah, you know, they, I've come to find out that other creators have the same problems. So it's not just a me thing. It is a cybersecurity community thing, right? So at first I thought, I was like, man, there's other Wi-Fi hacking videos that show the same exact stuff. I mean, I do it a little bit differently. Maybe I go a little bit deeper. I try to make my videos deeper than what's already out there, because I don't want to just like completely, you know, share the same exact thing someone else does. So I try to go a layer deeper in all my videos, and maybe that's what it was. But at the end of the day, there's people that they get their stuff. You know, there's been other creators that reach out to me and said they've had similar issues. So I don't feel attacked personally. It's the cybersecurity community that just gets attacked, and it's inconsistent too, right? Because sometimes it's allowed on, sometimes it's not allowed on, and so it's not. It's just a thing that you have to deal with as a cybersecurity creator, content creator, which we've all just come to accept. Which is unfortunate, but hey, it is what it is. What I don't really like about YouTube is, like, you know, there's so much garbage on YouTube, bro. Like, so much garbage that's literally contributing to the downfall of society. But my video is the problem. My video is harmful and dangerous. Like, come on, bro. Like, you've seen several videos on the same subject. Yep, exactly. It's inconsistent, man. Like I said, sometimes some people's videos get down, some people's videos get to stay up. No reason for the YouTube moderators to take down your stream. I've never had a problem with streams getting taken down. It's only videos. And it, yeah, I don't know why. I mean, maybe I could have done better by saying, instead of saying Wi-Fi hacking, I could have said Wi-Fi pen testing. Maybe it would have got better, you know, because people associate the word hacking with criminal activity, which, you know, I use the word hacking because not all hackers are criminals. You know, you're looking at one. So, and you guys already know that. They come here all the time. So, but I try to kill the what's the word I'm looking for? The stereotype that hacker equals bad. You know what I mean? And that's why I like to use the word hacker. You know, and then when I refer to, you know, illegal hacking, I typically refer to that person as a cyber criminal, right? And I've never advocated for cyber crimes. You know, I always say ethical hacking too. I specifically say ethical hacking for the YouTube algorithm, but even then, they don't like it. My videos are extremely dangerous. Yeah. Well, you know, well, I mean, I feel like I've been on an FBI watch list for a while now, so it's gotta play a factor too. So there's that. Also, Alvary, thanks for stopping in. Is it Alvy? Alvy Avery. Thanks for stopping in. And then we got OX Oops. Thanks for stopping in. How you doing? I'm a white hat hacker. I need to get a white hat and just start wearing it. FBI watch list? Yeah, I mean, probably. I'd imagine so. I should hit access a lab, and I should have been letting this build up while I was chatting. I see you on LinkedIn all the time, but this is my first time watching stream. Yeah, thanks for stopping in. Yeah, I am on LinkedIn. I do post a lot there. Probably post more there than I do on YouTube, but YouTube's, I feel, is definitely my main platform, even though my LinkedIn is growing faster. The best way to support my content is definitely YouTube, for sure. By the way, I'm trying to figure out who messaged. I don't know why my chat does this, but it's like LinkedIn. It just says LinkedIn user sometimes, so I gotta pull up LinkedIn just to see who commented. Nazar, thanks for stopping in. How you doing today? Thanks. He said, good job. Kyser. It's not Kyser. You spelled it wrong. It's Kyser. Keep up the good job. I will keep up the good job. I don't know about Kyser though. I can't speak for a Kyser. I prefer a black hoodie. I have one with a green Kali symbol. Hats aren't generally my thing. Yeah, hats aren't my thing too. I tried a hat thing a while back. A while back I tried the hat thing. And then I kind of just got rid of it. I don't know really what made me get rid of it. But yeah. Back in the day I used to stream video games. I used to play Mortal Kombat competitively. And yeah, I always had a hat on with my logo. And I just haven't had that since like 2015, I think. Maybe 2016, I think is when I got rid of it. It was like such a staple of my identity that like I wouldn't wear it one stream and people would be like, "Why are you wearing the hat?" I'm like, "Bro, like I have hair, like I'm not bald." I think I stopped wearing it because I didn't like the hat hair. You know what I mean? I don't like hat hair, man. I didn't know you had done video games. Yeah, it's a little fun fact there. A lot of people don't know. Um, I did stream on Twitch, like a lot of games on Twitch. I had a YouTube channel. Matter of fact, another fun fact of the day, my YouTube channel, when you're watching right now, was originally a video game channel. And I stopped doing gaming content. I deleted all the gaming videos and just started making cybersecurity videos. And I use the same channel. So it's actually the same channel on YouTube. Now on Twitch, it's a different story. Twitch, I did make a brand new channel because my Twitch channel was way bigger than my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel was just real tiny. I think I had like 800 subscribers or something like that. And so I started my cybersecurity channel with 800 subscribers, I guess, but didn't really help me out because it's a whole different audience. And then for Twitch, though, my gaming Twitch channel, still alive to this day, I think it has like 9.2 thousand followers, way bigger than my cybersecurity Twitch channel. And at one point in time, I was 50 followers away from 10K, and I was trying to get to 10K, and then I just threw in the towel. I'm like, I'm done. I'd rather make cybersecurity stuff. Well, I mean, yeah, 800 subscribers is incredibly difficult to get to on YouTube. Yeah, it's not easy, man. It's very difficult. But like I said, it didn't really help this channel grow that much because when I took such a long break between the gaming content to the cybersecurity content that people kind of forgot about me. And then when I started doing cybersecurity content, they're like, this is what I followed this guy for. So I feel like I lost a lot of subscribers over time before I even gained any. So it took me a long time to get to 1,000, like a really long time. All right, let's try to figure this out. So this is the product category filters powered by MongoDB. Vulnerable NoSQL injection. Okay, so before we do anything, we need to take this right here. We need to copy this, and we need to put it in our scope. So we're going to do Control A, right click, delete selected items, and we're going to go to target, scope, and we're going to add, and we're going to paste in here. We're going to include subdomains and hit OK. That way we're only getting traffic from But yeah, sometimes I debate, man. Like sometimes I feel like I should just start a gaming stream up on my other channel just for old time's sake and just for something to do, but I haven't done it yet. Because I tell you right now, like when you put your gaming content, like when you put your gaming on a schedule like that, gaming becomes a lot less enjoyable. The fun part about streaming on Twitch though is like you do make friends while you're playing the game, so that's pretty cool. Oh my gosh. I don't know why Why is this? I can't even move nothing around. Oh, that's because it wants me to answer this prompt first. I didn't even see it right in the front of the screen. I'm like sitting here like, why can't I make this bigger or anything? Got to post dumber down content for people to watch. Honestly, man, people complain on YouTube like, why you post basic stuff? And it's like, well, that's all YouTube really allows. You know what I mean? You start going layers deeper, then they just like, they're like, no. What's up, Wi-Fi? How's it going, man? I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. You just missed my whole backstory. You have to rewatch it. But yeah, man, I'm doing good. I will say the one thing that threw me off from like switching from a gaming content creator to a cybersecurity content creator, the biggest difference is the cybersecurity community like hardly talks crap. Like it's generally positive. It's pretty positive place. When you do gaming content, there's so many people that want to talk crap for no reason. Like you have like an unpopular gaming opinion, but like you just get assassinated because you said that. I played Mortal Kombat, so I'll be like, yeah, that character, like, he's overrated, or like, oh, he's underrated. And people are like, you're dumb. And like, they would literally, like, they'd say worse than that. They'd say, like, cuss you out and stuff. You're like, bro, what? I'm just like giving you my opinion on a video game. A video game. I'm getting distracted. We need to figure out where this NoSQL injection is. It's in the. It's in. Access granted. Hey, we have a follow subscriber. Sabia Ahmed. Thanks for subscribing. Thank you. I feel like streaming games would not only make gaming less fun, and it would take away from us. What do you mean take away from us? I love games, but I don't watch people play games usually. Actually, I had a lot of fun streaming games. Actually, it makes it more enjoyable because when you do something cool, like it's recorded and people, you get to see chat and stuff, and you get to talk to people. What's not fun about it is when I said you get toxic people, which is very common in the gaming community when you stream on that. But it is pretty fun, just like having like talking and like. To this day, I talk out loud because like one of the habits that I made when I was streaming games, like I would just play the game, and when there wasn't anybody in the chat, I pretended like a million people was watching me, and I would just like talk. Like I would be like, playing the game. I'm like, oh, we're gonna go over here. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that, and I'm just like narrating the game as I'm going through, and because of that, I built that habit. So I still to this day, like I will say stuff out loud of what I'm thinking because that's like, in my opinion, like one of the best ways you can like break the silence. Because like, I don't know if you guys ever watch like a gaming Twitch stream where like the person just is like playing a game, they're not saying anything. It's not fun. But I train myself to like just always be talking. And now like I can just be completely alone and I would like narrate something I'm thinking. And I'm like, dude, you're weird, Kyser. Why are all the gamers switching to cybersecurity? Well, I mean, so cybersecurity is a lucrative career, and for me, I went from building gaming PCs, which is what started me like getting into tech, building gaming PCs, and I just went from there. I found building the gaming PCs was almost as fun as playing the games, and a lot of people feel that way. You get into you want to build a gaming PC, and then you find out like building them is actually more fun than playing the game. And that's kind of what happens to a lot of people. I still had a lot of fun playing the games, but I definitely was like, you know what, I can take the skill to the next level, and that's what made me want to pursue a career in tech. I wasn't I didn't pick cybersecurity at first. I just wanted a career just, you know, fix computers. But then I learned about cybersecurity along the way. I'm like, oh, that's what I want to do. Rather streaming gamified CTS like Hack the Box seem more mature to me for some reason. Is that a normal? What do you mean? Like more mature than gaming? I mean, I guess you can say that's more mature. I mean, gaming is definitely not the best use of your time, and as a former hardcore gamer, I'm still a casual gamer. I'm a casual gamer now, but when I was hardcore, like I live, breathe, and sleep games. Like it's all I did. Every paycheck I got from my day job went into either like upgrading a piece of equipment for my stream or like buying a new game. And I bought game after game after game after game. Like I was going through a new game every week. Sometimes I'd buy multiple games in a week, and I would just switch between so many games, and then it cost a lot of money and it was a lot of time. But it wasn't really a waste of time because I stream games that made me like pretty good at talking on camera like I am now. So when I started making cybersecurity content, it wasn't really that difficult for me because I already went through that awkward phase of like content creation I got. But I mean, yeah, back to what I was trying to say, like gaming, like when I stopped focusing on gaming, focused on my career, like that was a huge step forward in my career. And I still advocate for that. Like if you want to make a far in cybersecurity, you want to make it like make a career out of it, you do got to make sacrifices. And for me, that sacrifice was the video games. The product category filter. So the product category filter, how do I, so I think I can do like tech gifts. What made you go for pen testing? Basically because it's cool. I thought the title ethical hacker was mysterious and sexy and cool, and that's why. And another reason why I was like, well, if like the whole point of cybersecurity is to stop hackers, like you gotta learn how to think like a hacker if you truly want to stop them. And that's another reason right there. That's probably my secondary reason. My first reason, just because it's cool. What's the main factor that made you want to stick to it? The main factor that made me want to stick to pen testing, like why don't I switch to like cybersecurity analyst or something? Mostly because I don't want to start over from scratch. I've already built so much skills in pen testing that it doesn't make sense for me to switch, even though I could probably make more money somewhere else. Like there's plenty of blue team jobs that make more than an average pen tester. Those entry level blue team jobs make less than a pen tester, generally speaking, but blue teamers have a higher pay ceiling from what I understand of like salaries. Verdicts, thanks for following, appreciate you. But yeah, I mean, you could probably make more money as a blue teamer. You won't make more money as a blue teamer starting out, but in the long run I think you do end up with a higher salary because pen testing pay ceiling is capped at a little bit lower than the pay ceiling for a blue teamer. But yeah, the reason why I stay with the pen testing and red teaming and stuff is just because I've already put so much time, effort, and energy into it, and I don't want to switch because I feel like it feels unwise. Am I the guy on YouTube? I am on YouTube. I am streaming on YouTube, Twitch, LinkedIn, and Kick right now. I mean, I'm a guy on YouTube. There's plenty of guys on YouTube, I think. Last time I checked, anyways, there was a few other guys. So this is. Can you show the search on your wall? Yeah, I mean, if you want to see them, we can go webcam only here. There you go. There's one of them's missing actually. I have two certs that are on the wall now. I just recently got a new one. It was something that I had to get to make a client happy, and it was a pretty easy one. It was a Crest CPSA Didn't really want it, but like I said, it made a client happy. And that is a new cert that I got that's on the wall. And I don't have my SAL1 on the wall. OSCP win? Bro, I don't know. I'm hopefully later this year. But might bleed into the next year. We'll see. This demo is for educational purposes only. Ethical hacking is legal and differs from illegal hacking. Always ensure you have legal permission before performing what you see in this demo. The certs are I'm accumulating the certs faster than I feel like putting them up. Like it's just yeah. What about the books? Yeah, I have a lot of books too. I read a lot of like certification study guides, obviously, and I read like self-development books, finance books. I like reading about money. I like reading about business. I like reading about hacking. Obviously, there's some hacking books back there. That's probably the #1 category, actually. And there's some other ones, mostly self-development books. Recently started reading about buying a home in real estate because I'm going through a home buying process for the first time. I'm a first-time home buyer, and I'm going through that process right now, trying to buy my first home. So I've been reading a lot about that lately. How long do I study a day? To be honest with you, I haven't been studying like a lot lately because, like I said, I'm going through the home buying process, and that's eating up all my time. But as soon as I move into a new home, then it's back to every day. That's what I would like to do. But right now, it's not that. We get through cycles. But before I was in home buying mode and all that, like, especially before I landed my pentesting job, it was 100% every day. How long? I would say at least 3 hours every day. After work, at least 3 hours. If I didn't put in 3 hours, then I felt like I slacked. And sometimes it was 4 hours, sometimes it was 5 hours, and on the weekends it was 8 to 12 hours. And it was a lot of time, effort, and energy to study a lot. Man, chess getting wild. I can't even do the assignment on the screen. So next question. Oh, we have. Can I suggest an interview? What's that mean? I don't know what you mean by that. What's up, Mark? And thanks for stopping in. Will help desk jobs be around 2 to 3 years? Yeah, for sure. AI is not replacing help desk jobs in 2 to 3 years. Maybe 5 to 10 years it might start disappearing, but 2 to 3, I think you're safe. And maybe 10 years help desk will go away. But at the end of the day, it's like we know when we're talking to AI, right? And we don't really like it. We like to talk to a regular human being, right? You know, I feel like a lot of people, like if you turn into this stream and you saw an AI right here in this box talking, you would probably click off. Like you would be more likely to click off, right? Because you can't connect with an AI, right? It doesn't have feelings, it doesn't have emotions. And help desk has a lot of, personal connection involved with that job. So I feel like there's still going to be a human element to help desk. I don't think AI is completely going to take over help desk. I think AI will absolutely help desk, help the help desk to the help desk. But people pick up the phone and call help desk, they want to talk to a human, man. And I know me, like when I buy stuff, like I hate going through automated stuff. I like to talk to a human being, dude. 4 hours in sleep, then another 4 hours. A person that you can interview? Oh, for my show, for the podcast. Is that what you're talking about? If you have any recommendations, I will absolutely take podcast recommendations. I do need guests. I'm always looking for guests. And that's actually one of the hardest things for me to like get, because a lot of these guys that are like really good at their job, they just don't want to get on camera. They don't want to talk. Can't rely on AI to do pen testing either. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so this request we need to find the one that's going to the category, which is this one. So we're going to send this to repeater. And so this is the category. So this parameter right here should be vulnerable to NoSQL injection. That's what the lab's saying. So we're going to come back over here and we're just going to go back because I forgot what I already read about. So you guys got me rambling, which is fine. I like talking. I actually enjoy talking to you guys more than doing the lab. Because I've done a lot of labs by myself. This is why I don't stream my actual study sessions, by the way, because I would get super distracted. Don't get me wrong, I'm learning here, but the main point of this stream is for me to connect with you guys. I don't know. Let's just try this maybe. Let's send that. That's a 200. Okay, let's go back. Oh, I can't go back. What's it look like? Okay, I got 200. Okay. I will look at your links after the stream. I'm putting in my notes right now. I have a notebook with all my content creation notes, and I have one that says potential guest. I just put your 2 links in the potential guest category, and I will check those out later. No guarantees that they'll be on the show, but I will reach out to them. Oh, there's another link. Thanks. And then, yeah, and if they do show on the show, it might be later down the road because I'm pretty much booked for the next like 2 months. That's an email. Okay, email, perfect. Thanks for the recommendation. And like I said, if there's anybody else that you want to see on a show, just let me know. And if you want to be on a show, if you feel like you're qualified to be on a show, then by all means, you are allowed on the show. The rules of the show are simple. You have to be either a full-time pen tester, or you can be a former full-time pen tester who is now full-time in a different cybersecurity position, or you can be a full-time cybersecurity professional, such as a blue teamer, with an offensive security certification like OSCP, CPTS, PNPT, something like that. Well, yeah, I know XCT. I did not know he was the owner of VulnLab, to be honest with you, which is probably a shame. I've actually never used VulnLab. All right. We need to come in here and try this one now. See if it behaves differently. Oh, you know what? Maybe if we go back and paste this here. 200 status, okay. Paste this here. He's got OSE? That's crazy. I've been trying to get, I've reached out to so many OSEs to get on the show, and they're typically not the type of people to show up on a podcast, man. Like, they're like, dude, screw you, I got labbing to do. Like, yeah, I got stuff to do. Only for OSE costing 10k plus. Does it cost 10k plus? I didn't know it cost that much. I figured it'd be like the standard offset cert, you know, like $1,700 to $2,500. That's crazy, 10k. I did not know that. I don't see nothing here that's indicating NoSQL injection here. You guys ready for a hot take? I was thinking about this at the beginning of the stream, but now we got people in the stream. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Here's the hot take. I don't think the PortSwigger Web Security Academy is a good way to learn stuff. But that's just me though. I have a hard time with these labs, like a very hard time, because I feel like what they tell you here isn't the lab. Like the solution to the lab is like something completely different than what they tell you. They don't really teach you how to solve the labs, I guess. They don't even give you, in my opinion, enough information to solve the labs in a lot of cases. That's my hot take. PortSwigger Web Security Academy, overrated. So I can grab all these payloads that they're telling me to try, and then like they don't work, and it's like, bro, what are you talking about? See if this works. He said I had some trouble in the file upload vulnerability lab, but I managed. Took some brain power for sure. It takes a lot of brain power to get through these. Yeah. Oh. I solved it. I didn't even know I solved it. Or did I already do this? Was this solved earlier? When was it solved? Oh. Yeah, I just solved it. So here, like my first initial request had not solved, and now it says solved. Bro, I just solved it. I don't even know what solved it. I just started pasting the payloads in there. Alright. Well, a win's a win. I don't know. I'm gonna look at the solution here. I'm not sure which one. Oh yeah, I did do that one. Okay. Well, moving on. That's funny. I solved it, didn't even know I did. I'm like, so you're like, bro, what's the solution? NoSQL operator injection. NoSQL databases often use query operators, which provide ways to specify conditions that must meet to be included in the query result. Examples of MongoDB query operators include where matches documents that satisfy JavaScript expression, any matches all values that are not equal to the specified value, in matches all the values specified in an array, regex select documents where the values match a specific regular expression. You may be able to inject query operator to manipulate NoSQL queries. To do this, systematically submit different operators into a range of user inputs, then review the responses for error messages or other changes. Submitting query operators. In JSON messages, you can insert query operators as nested objects. For example, username. It gets me every time, bro. Every time I see them use wiener, it just makes me chuckle. I'm sorry, but that's funny. You can call me immature all you want. I don't care. It's funny. Like, why would they even pick that? They always use it too. It gets me every time. It never gets old. Username wiener becomes username any invalid. For URL based inputs, you can insert query operators via URL parameters. For example, username equals wiener becomes username any invalid. If this doesn't work, you can try the following. Convert the request method from get to post. It is funny. Okay, at least I'm not the only one. I thought there was something wrong with me. Maybe I'm just like immature or something. But yeah, it's I think it's funny to me because it's like it's just silly, and it's like why are we putting this in training that's supposed to be for, like, you know, professional, I guess, you know? Convert the regex method from get to post. Change the content type header to application/JSON. Add JSON to the message body. Inject query operators into JSON. I'm an old man. That's still funny to me. Yeah, it's gonna be funny whether you're 5 or 85. No, you can use the content type converter extension to automatically convert the requested method and change the URL encoded post request to JSON. Detecting operator injection in MongoDB. Consider a vulnerable application that accepts a username and password in the body of a post request. Username, wiener, password, Peter. And then the password's always Peter. Gets me every time. At least the first time, and once you read it enough times, it's like, you kind of get over it. Test each input with a range of operators. For example, to test whether the username input processes a query operator, you could try the following injection. Username invalid, password equals Peter. Well, not equals, but password Peter. If any operator is applied, this queries all the users where the username is not equal to invalid. If both the username and password inputs process the operator, it may be possible to bypass authentication using the following payload. Username invalid, password invalid. This query returns all login credentials where both the username and password are not equal to invalid. As a result, you're logged into the application as the first user in the collection. To target an account, you can construct a payload that includes a known username or a username that you've guessed. For example, username admin, administrator, superadmin, password equals any. To log in, the login functionality for this lab is powered by a MongoDB NoSQL database. It's vulnerable to NoSQL injection using MongoDB operators. To solve this lab, log in the application as an administrator user. You can log in your own account using the following credentials: Wiener, Peter. Hit Access Lab here. Let's go ahead and log in here. Pass. Username is Wiener. And the password is Peter. We want to come over here to the target. No. Yeah. Turn intercept on. Hit login on this. Okay, I can't go back. That's really cool. Bro, what the heck? Oh, I know why. It's because I got intercept on. That is very awkward. Let's send this to repeater. Let's go ahead and drop all. Hit back. No, drop all. And then turn intercept off. And hit back. There we go. What if I just do this? Oops, we need to turn intercept on. So we do intercept on. We'll drop all. Test. Log in. Back over here. Send this. We don't want to send this to repeater. Let's just do this. See if this works. Forward. Oh, that didn't work. Turn intercept back on. Let's try this one more time. Forward that. Turn intercept off. That didn't work. Huh, I'm not sure. I mean, that's exactly what it's telling me to do. Alright, so I got to hit that, and then it's telling me to change that username to this. And then the password to this. Did that work? Yeah, there we go. Nice. Solved. Hit refresh and we can probably hit continue. Yep. Exploiting syntax injection to extract data. In many NoSQL databases, some query operators or functions can run limited JavaScript code, such as MongoDB's where operator and map reduce function. This means that if a vulnerable application uses these operators or functions, the database may evaluate the JavaScript as part of the query. You may therefore be able to use JavaScript functions to extract data from the database. I mean, I don't know how nice of a job it was. I appreciate it though. I mean, I kind of just cheated and went straight to the solution after I tried what they gave me in the examples, and I'm like, oh well, all right. That's why I don't really like the PortSwigger Web Security Academy, because they give you like 1 or 2 examples, right? And then you try them and they don't work, and then like the solution is complete. I don't want to say completely different, but it's a lot different. It's different enough to where it's like, man, I would never would have got this on my own. You know what I mean? So that's why I ended up going to the solution quite often in these. Exfiltrating data in MongoDB. Consider a vulnerable application that allows users to look up the registered usernames and display their role. I don't feel like it gives you enough, honestly. Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. This triggers a request in the URL. This results in a following NoSQL query of the user's collection. So that's that. As the query uses the where operator, you can attempt to inject JavaScript functions in this query so that it returns sensitive data. For example, you could send the following payload. This returns the first character of the username's password string, enabling you to extract the password character by character. You could also use a JavaScript match function to extract information. For example, the following payload enables you to identify whether the password contains digits. Identifying field names. Because MongoDB handles semi-structured data that doesn't require a fixed schema, you may need to identify valid fields in a collection before you extract data using JavaScript injection. For example, to identify where the MongoDB database contains a password field, you can submit the following payload and send the payload again for an existing field and for a field that doesn't exist. In this example, you know that the username field exists, so you can send the following payloads. If the password field exists, you expect the response to be identical to the response for the existing field username, but different to the response of the field that doesn't exist. Identifying field names continued. If you want to test different field names You can perform a dictionary attack by using a word list to cycle through different potential field names. Note, you can alternatively use NoSQL operator injection to extract field names character by character. This enables you to identify field names without having to guess or perform a dictionary attack. We'll teach you how to do this in the next section. Well, we can close out of this lab here. Let's go to HTTP history. We're going to do a Control A, right click, and delete selected items because this is all the old labs and I don't want those anymore. So go ahead and access the lab. And the user lookup functionality for this lab is powered by MongoDB NoSQL database. It is vulnerable to NoSQL injection. To solve the lab, extract the password for the administrator user, then log into their account. You can log into your own account using the following credentials. We can repeat here. Tip: the password only uses lowercase letters. Sorry guys, I got a text message I had to respond to. Yeah, one sec guys, I gotta answer a phone call. All right, guys, 1 second here. I gotta handle something. I apologize. Okay, guys, I am back. I am sorry for the wait. This demo is for educational purposes only. Ethical hacking is legal and differs from illegal hacking. Always ensure you have legal permission before performing what you see in this demo. I had to take care of something. Like I indicated earlier in the stream, I am trying to buy a house right now, and timing is of the essence, and I had to reply to my realtor right away. What were we doing? Oh yeah, we're doing NoSQL injection, and we're trying to figure out how to get access to the admin user. The user search feature. Where's the user search feature? Did I spell winner wrong? Is it I before E? Oh, yeah. Okay. Where's the user search feature though? I don't see one. I could have sworn that's what it said. The user lookup functionality for this lab is powered by MongoDB. Where's the user lookup feature? Extract the password for the admin user, then log into their account. Alright, well. Where's the user lookup feature though? That's what I'm confused on. Bro, I don't know where the user lookup feature is, man. I'm like exploiting, yeah. My account ID equals administrator. Is that the user lookup feature? Bro. I don't know what. User lookup. Right click to get user lookup. Oh, is it in the history? History. User lookup. User lookup. There it is. Send this to repeater? Question mark? Oh. We can do a single quote and this causes an error. Yeah. Now this may indicate that the user input, okay. Submit a valid JavaScript payload to the user parameter. For example, you can use wiener this. Make sure the URL encoded payload highlighted. Identify. Man, this has got a lot of steps to it. We can do this. What if we send 8? This should. Okay. What's up, Simon? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping in. You're to the community. Love your videos. Thank you. I'm glad you like the videos. Welcome to the community. All right, Death Bestower X. I gotta emphasize the X. Thanks for stopping and hanging out, man. I appreciate you, and have a good one. Catch you on the next one. Sorry, I missed your first message. You said goodbye, and then you said it again. Okay. Okay. I don't know why this doesn't work. Oh, I got a URL encode the payload. That's why. That's why. I got a URL encode to control you. Send. Alright. Alright. Hit 8. Could not find user. But when you hit 9, you find the user. Cool. This indicates that the password is 8 characters long. Less than 9. Yeah, that makes sense. We want to right click, send to intruder, and then we want to change the user parameter to this. This includes 2 payload. Alright. Select cluster bomb from the attack type. In the payload type, I'll select position 1. Add number 0 to 7. So we want to do a cluster bomb. And then we want to payload position 1. We want to do numbers from 0 to 9. No. Did they say 0 to 9? 0 to 7. Payload position 2 is letters. How do I do this simple A to Z list? Simple list. Isn't there... Oh gosh, I want it to be over here. How do I make... Isn't there a simple list built into here? Character substitution, character blocks, numbers. I thought there was a way to add the list. Oh, here we go. A to Z. Perfect. And I should be able to just hit start attack. Yeah, we'll hit start attack. Yeet! See what happens. Stormy, what's up? Welcome back to the stream. I feel like it's been forever. How you doing today? It has been busy with school. How's school going? Two weeks away from your degree. Nice. For your bachelor's degree, right? It's in computer science, right? If I remember correctly. Or was it information systems? I feel like it was computer science. Associates in IT. Completely wrong. I had a... I knew it was something to do with IT. Associates in IT. Nice. I guess it's not completely wrong because like computer science is kind of like IT, but information systems basically is IT, so I wasn't too far off. But I thought it was a 4-year degree for some reason. I tried bachelor's in computer science, but switched. Oh, okay. Did you tell me that before? Maybe that's what I thought that. You didn't like the computer science, huh? What was it, like the programming you didn't like or something? Or did you switch for other reasons? I gotta figure out why, what does this even mean? Oh, here we go. C, D, E, H, J. Okay. So these aren't ordered. So 0. So the first character, let's pull up a notepad here. So this is what I'm looking at, guys. So the first character of this password, I know it's the first character that starts with 0, and then we have a C here. So the first character is a C. If I go down here, and the reason where I'm pulling this up from is after this brute force attack, you can see I got a bunch of like 151s. Well, the 209s stick out because it's different than the 151s. There's less of them than there's of the 151s, and it should be 8 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we know it's an 8-digit character. 8-character password from the earlier testing. So, oh, it says right here. Yeah. It also says right here, but this isn't in the right order. So we can see 0, C. So we'll move on to the next one down. This is 7. So the 7th character is a D. So we will skip that for now. 6 is an E. Skip that. 4 is an H. These are all out of order. We're looking for 1. So 1 is an S. So once again, I'm getting that here. So we see 1 and then an S. So now we're looking for 2. 2 is a J right here. 2. Second position is a J. Who just followed? We're hacking live. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for following. Appreciate you. That and I struggle big time. I feel as though IT fits me better. IT is... Yeah, I think IT is definitely probably easier to grasp. I guess I would say the same thing to you. I'm not a big programmer myself, and like some people just have a knack for IT. I think I'm one of them. Like if you like troubleshooting, like if you know how to solve computer problems, then yeah, IT is definitely nice. Let's see here. So yeah, now we're looking for position 3. Where's 3? 3 is U. So once again, 3, position 3, U. Now we're looking for position 4. 4 is an H. Now we're looking for position 5. I think it's down here. Position 5 is an N. I don't look for position 6 is an E. And I think 7's on the top. No? 7's a D. So this is the password. I don't know why I can't show you that. Okay, hold on. Alright, I can't show you my screen. That's actually kind of crazy. Well, I would just do this. I will copy it and I will... The password is this right here. CSJUHNED. That might be dynamic, so it might change every time you do this. If you're following along, then it might be different for you. So keep that in consideration. So now that we know the password, we can just log in. So we can go to my account. And let's go ahead and log out. My account again. You suck at programming? I don't think I suck at it. I just don't like it. Maybe I do suck at it because I don't, because it does, I don't like the struggle. I don't like, yeah, like fixing the errors in the code. That's the password. I didn't mean to do that. Username is administrator. And we're in. And the lab is solved. Nice. After I graduate, I want to start getting my certs. My brother just got a Security Plus. Nice. Congrats to your brother. That's nice you have a brother that's doing cybersecurity and IT stuff as well. I don't have anybody, not a single person in my family does IT or cybersecurity. Not a single one of them. I had to figure it all out on my own, which is why I make the content that I do, because I didn't have anybody telling me how to do any of this stuff. I didn't even know that this was a viable career option for me. He works IT in a hospital. Nice. Alright, we're moving on. We're almost done. Exploiting NoSQL operator injection to extract data. Even if the original query doesn't use any operators that enable you to run arbitrary JavaScript, you may be able to inject one of these operators yourself. You can use these Boolean conditions to determine whether the application executes any JavaScript that you inject via this operator. Let's close out of this and close out of that. Injecting operators in MongoDB. Consider the vulnerable application that accepts username and passwords in the body of a post request. Username Wiener, password Peter. To test whether you can inject operators, you can try adding the where operator as an additional parameter. Then send one request where the condition evaluates a false and another that evaluates a true. For example, username Wiener, password Peter, where 0. Username Wiener. Okay, same thing but with a 1. So 0. If there is a difference between the responses, this may indicate that the JavaScript expression is in the where clause is being evaluated. Extracting field names. If you have injected an operator that enables you to run JavaScript, you may be able to use the keys method to extract the name of data fields. For example, you could submit the following payload: where object.keys this. What a payload. This inspects the first data field and the user object and returns the first character of the field name. This enables you to extract the field name by character. Exfiltrating data using operators. Alternatively, you may be able to extract data using operators that don't enable you to run JavaScript. For example, you may be able to use regex operators to extract data character by character. Consider a vulnerable application that accepts the username and password in the body of a post request. For example, username, my user, password, my pass. You could start by testing whether the regex operator's process as follows: username, admin, password. If the response to this request is different to the one you receive when you submit an incorrect password, this indicates that the application may be vulnerable. You can use the regex operator to extract data character by character. For example, the following payload checks whether the password begins with NA. Username, admin, password, regex. We got one more lab to solve. Yeah, here we go. Access the lab. The user lookup functionality of this lab is powered by migrate vulnerable to NoSQL. So this lab, you first need to extract the value of the password reset token. Oh my gosh. It doesn't even say anything about password reset tokens before this. I'm just gonna go straight to the solution because I'm running out of time here. I'm gonna expedite this. So if we go log in, what's up, Jug Pearl? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping in. Hello, is it me or you grew the beard and now you don't wear your suit anymore? It's all, I don't know what you're talking about. I've never not had a beard, first of all, and second of all, I don't even have a suit. I don't even have a suit. I don't even know what you're talking about. Nah, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I grew a beard and I don't wear the dress clothes on the stream anymore. Man, I confuse you with somebody else. No, I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. I didn't have a beard before, and I did wear a dress shirt with a tie on every single stream. Oh wow, you got me for a second. Ha! Got him! Yeah, you're not tripping. You're not tripping. Well, who am I logging in as? Login as Carlos. Oh, I guess I'm not logging in anybody. Oh, man. In Burp's browser, attempt to log in the application with username Carlos and password invalid. Notice that you receive an invalid username or password error message. In Burp, go to Proxy HTTP history. Right-click the post login request and select Send to Repeater. In Repeater, change. I don't know why I'm reading all this. Let's just start doing this one by one. This is why I need to get off of it. I'm getting tired. In Burp's browser, attempt to log into the application with username Carlos and password invalid. Notice that you receive invalid username or password error message. Carlos invalid. Let's go ahead and log in. Of course, invalid. Right click on the post login request and select Send to Repeater. Let's go ahead and close out of Intruder. Close out of Intruder. Yeah, we got what we needed there. Oh, I didn't mean to shut down the whole. I didn't want to shut down all of Burp, bro. I just wanted to shut the one window down. Oh, you solve labs directly with the solution without trying first? Is it helpful? No. Do not. I don't recommend that. Like I said, I got other things I got to be doing tonight, and then I got to get to bed. And that's why I'm kind of skipping. I'm going a little bit faster than I would otherwise. Plus, the main point of these streams is for me to connect with you guys, not for me to learn. And I've already done some NoSQL stuff in the past. But yeah, I don't recommend that. If you're trying to learn, definitely struggle first. But like I said, these aren't proper study sessions for me. I don't stream my actual real study sessions. And normally I would try to figure it out a little more, but today's just I got some other things I got to do after the stream. I really hate how I close out of that. That set me back like 5 minutes. It takes so long to log into PortSwigger Web Security Academy. I hate it. Well, maybe. Is it gonna let me? Is it gonna let me do this? What the heck is it doing? Yeah, it's not even loading, bro. I wish it wouldn't have broke. All I wanted to do was hit X on the intruder and PortSwigger Web Security Academy, Google search. Alright, there we go. Alright, I'm already logged in, good. Alright, so now I can go to learning paths. And we are doing NoSQL injection. This has got to be the last lab. Access the lab. Copy the URL. And what we want to do is get rid of the whole history. Delete that. So we don't need any of that information. And then we need to go to target, scope, add, paste our URL, include subdomains, and hit OK. That way we're only seeing traffic for the lab. And then we're going to go to proxy. No, we just need to log in. So we need to log in with Carlos. And then password invalid. To get in our history, come over here. So on the /login, that's what I said, right? On the post/login, send it to a repeater. Yep. Okay, so this is a post, right? Oh, there's a get login and here's post login. So here's the post login. Right click, send to repeater. Okay, done. In repeater, change the value of the password parameter to invalid. Change the value of the password parameter from invalid to this. So we'll copy that. Then send the request. Notice that you now receive an account locked error message. You can't access Carlos' account, but this response indicates that the any operator has been accepted and application is vulnerable. Let's go to repeater and change the password field to this. Send this. You should get something saying that the account's locked now. I don't see anything that says like that. Account lock, here we go. Account lock, please reset your password. Perfect. In Burp's browser, attempt to reset the password for the Carlos account when you submit the Carlos username. Observe that the reset mechanism involves email verification, so you can reset that account yourself. Attempt to reset the password. So we will attempt to reset the password. So let's go back to the lab and we will do forgot password. Please enter your username or email. So Carlos. Hit submit. Yeah, so we did observe that it involves email verification, so you can't reset the account yourself. Makes sense. In repeater, use a post/login request to test whether the application is vulnerable to JavaScript injection. Add where 0 as an additional parameter in the JSON data as follows. Okay. So we're going to go back to that same thing that we did. We're just going to copy all this. Sorry, not copy, but replace it and paste that. Alright, now Send this request. Notice that you receive an invalid username and password error message. Hit send. Invalid username and password. Yep. Change where 0 to where 1, then resend the request. Notice that you receive an account locked error message. This indicates that the JavaScript in the where clause is being evaluated. So change this 0 to a 1. Hit send. And should say account's locked somewhere. Account is locked. Yep. Okay. Tracking. Working so far. Right click the request and select send to intruder. Alright. Right click, send to intruder. In intruder, construct an tag to identify all the fields on the user object. Update where parameter as follows. So copy this. So change where to that. Add two payload positions. The first identifies the character position number and the second identifies the character itself. Okay, so inside the curly brackets and outside the curly brackets. Okay, makes sense to me. So inside we will do, this isn't, okay. Oops. We need to change the where clause to this. There we go. So inside the brackets we need to add a position, and then outside the brackets we also need to add another position, like that. Next, select cluster bomb attack from the attack type. In the payload, select position 1. So position 1 is numbers 0 to 20. Position 2 we're going to do all letters and numbers. Okay. So position 1. Oh, we gotta hit cluster bomb. Cluster bomb. Position 1. We want to do numbers from 0 to 20. Position 2 is A to Z, capital A to Z, and 0 to 9. And then we hit start attack. And I'm assuming it's going to give us a password here in a sec. So 0U. Can I go full screen on this? Oh my god, I made it worse. I can't go full screen. Now it's so tiny that I can't even use it. Oh man, what a treat. I had this issue earlier. I can't. Now I can't see the response. Oh man, this is awful. Well, I'm gonna hit close out of this. Discard that. We're just gonna hit start attack again, so it gives me a bigger window. There we go. Perfect. Got a bigger window now. Cypher asks, do you think pentesting is hard to get into? Do you not think that? Or do you think that or not? That was a weird way to word that question. But, yeah, so when it comes to pentesting, I do think it's hard to get into. which is why I make a lot of content helping people get in the field, because it's hard to do. It's not easy, right? I think a lot of professions, you can be like, yeah, if you, like, for example, lawyer, like I don't even have been interested, but I feel like it's like, yeah, go to college, go to law school, and then pass the bar, and then boom, you can go land a lawyer job. You know what I mean? I mean, it might be more advanced than that, but it's pretty straightforward. You know what I mean? Maybe it depends state by state. Cybersecurity and IT and tech, not straightforward at all. There's a million different paths you can take, which is also a pro, but also a con because it confuses people. But it's a pro because you can kind of do your career however you want. You don't have to follow the same path everybody else does, which makes you unique. But yeah, it's hard to do for a couple of reasons. One, I think the number one reason why it's hard to get into is because employers, they're not looking for entry level people. They're looking for mid to senior level people right now. And entry level cybersecurity jobs do not exist, but for pen testing, especially, does not exist. There's less entry level pen testing jobs than there are entry level like other cybersecurity jobs. So yeah, you very rarely will run across junior pen tester as like a job posting on like Indeed, ZipRecruiter, Monster, whatever other ones you use, Glassdoor, I don't know. So that's one reason why it's hard, because employers are looking for mid to senior level professionals, and they won't even consider you unless you have some kind of tech experience. Getting that tech experience is difficult because there is a lot of people competing for these positions and not enough empty slots. The whole millions and millions of unfilled jobs is a complete myth to get you to go to school and buy certifications or go in a boot camp. There isn't millions and millions of unfilled jobs. There's probably, for pen testing, let's just talk about pen testing. Pen testing, there's maybe a couple hundred jobs tops, right? Maybe a few hundred. Yeah, a few hundred. I feel like it's less than 1,000. Maybe a little bit more than 1,000, because I do have to take into consideration I was only looking for remote jobs. But for remote jobs, if we're talking remote jobs, it's definitely less than 1,000. And then half of them are not even real jobs; they're ghost jobs. Ghost jobs are just fake job postings. I go in depth on that one. If you don't know what a ghost job is, it's basically fake job postings that employers do for various reasons that typically don't help you out. Very bad business practice there. And then, so there's not a lot of jobs, and there's thousands of people competing for these jobs. So a few hundred positions open, thousands of people competing for them, and only some people get to make it. And that's just how it is. It is a competition. If you guys are trying to break into the field as a pen tester, specifically a pen tester, this also applies to other cybersecurity positions as well. But pen testing is especially hard to break into because there isn't a huge demand for pen testing. Because pen testing is something companies incorporate once they become sophisticated in their cyber defense. And once their cybersecurity posture is somewhat sophisticated, that's when they incorporate pen testing. And companies, most of them have sophisticated cybersecurity programs, and that's why you always start with a blue team first. This is why there's more blue team positions than red team in pen testing. And then as they become more sophisticated over time, they'll incorporate that pen testing and eventually red teaming. So yeah, not a lot of positions in pen testing. You got a lot of people competing for them, and it is a competition. And not everybody wins, right? Not everybody's going to get in. Not everybody that wants to be a pen tester is going to be a pen tester, and that's the sad reality. And that's what makes it hard. That's what makes it hard, and you have to work your butt off. You have to put in stupid, and I mean stupid amounts of hours. We're talking thousands of hours of your free time to just potentially land a job. And eventually you will if you keep at it. It's a simple formula. Whoever does the most work, that's who's going to get the jobs. You got to work on your skills. Not just your technical skills, but your soft skills as well. You got to learn how to market yourself. There's a lot that goes into it, and it's extremely difficult. And this is why I make so much content about how to break in the field, because it's not easy. It's not easy. And even if there was a lot of jobs open, you still got to put in the work to learn the stuff. It takes thousands of hours to be an effective pen tester, literally thousands of hours. So, now granted, it's not like physical labor, right? You know, but it's mentally taxing. It's very challenging, and it's not fun every day. It's not fun every day, in my opinion. I mean, maybe some people it is fun every day, but burnout is high in this field for a reason. So I feel like other people, you know, they do get burned out. It's not fun every day. So it is hard. Pen testing, getting into cybersecurity is hard. Getting into pen testing is even harder because the skill required to get there is higher than other cybersecurity jobs, and there's less open positions, and more people want to become pen testers than they want to be blue teamers. So yeah, it's a lot harder to become a pen tester. Now, I'm not saying that to like stop you from being a pen tester, right? That's just the facts. I didn't make it up. I just went through, you know, last year I landed my first pen test job a little over a year ago now, and I went through that, and yeah, it's not easy. It's a very fierce competition, and you know, I make content to help you break in, and I'm not trying to kind of convince you not to do it. I'm just saying that you need to work because there's a lot of competition. So take that into consideration. We got some new chatters here. Sorry, that took me a long time to answer that question, but I wanted to like emphasize it a little bit. Assad, thanks for stopping in. Just paid for OSCP Learn 1 membership with zero knowledge. Let's see. Zero knowledge? You're gonna have a hard time. It's definitely doable, not impossible. That's not what I recommend, but good luck to you, sir. It's gonna be challenging, but if you're up for it, then that's cool. I mean, it's gonna be hard no matter what. I think you're making it a lot harder on yourself than it needs to be. I typically recommend getting some entry-level certs first, and I recommend getting a junior-level pen tester cert first. But there are people who have gone straight to OCP and found success. I just feel like it's going to take you a lot longer. Unless you can absorb knowledge like a sponge, and if that's you, then you might not have any issues. But it's going to be challenging. So good luck. Nothing wrong with your decision. I'm just, I don't recommend that, and I didn't do it that way. But that's back to what I was saying earlier. There's infinite paths in this field, so you know you can do whatever you want, which is the beauty of the field. Bro, how do I identify what a website is good for injecting SQ? I'm assuming you meant like SQL injection for like SQI, or SQLI. What a website is good for injecting? I mean, you just gotta test the parameters. I mean, if you're doing like a bug bounty, then I don't know if I don't know how to choose a bug bounty program because I never done bug bounty. Because the projects cause I'm a full-time pen tester, so I get handed the web apps, so I don't choose the web app at all. I just get in there and I just start testing all the parameters for SQL injection and other injections and other vulnerabilities. Do you disclose doing EJPT as a first cert then? Do you discourage doing EJPT as a first cert then, since there are not that many entry-level pen testing jobs? No. I highly recommend. Back to what I was saying earlier, you know, I don't recommend going straight to OSCP. You want to have like OSCP or a CPTS or a PMPT for a pen testing job. That's kind of a ticket in to get some interviews. It's not going to guarantee you a job, but it will help you land interviews. But I think doing a junior certification before one of those mid-level certifications that do help you land interviews is ideal. So those junior pen testing certs, while I don't think they're going to help you land an interview, but they're going to help you land an interview a little bit, but it's not going to move the needle that much. The main thing for those junior level certifications like EJPT, PJPT, and now the PT1 from TryHackMe, those three certifications, in my opinion, are stepping stones to a higher level certification. And you can get a more in-depth explanation on my PT1 video. I released it. It's one of my newer videos. I recommend checking that out to get more information on that. But yeah, I got EJPT, and that EJPT I went in there like just to help me prepare for OSCP. EJPT was a stepping stone to OSCP for me, so I recommend EJPT. Actually, I would recommend. This is why you got to go watch the PT1 video. I explain a little bit more, but I like PJPT more than EJPT. PJPT was not out when I got the EJPT, but if it was, I would have went PJPT from TCM Security. How cyber criminals are different from pentesters skill-wise? I mean, theoretically they're the same, but they could vary. I mean, there's definitely some cyber criminals that don't have that much skill, and there's definitely cyber criminals that have more skills than pentesters. There's more pentesters that have higher skills than cyber criminals. So they're about the same. Now the difference between a cyber criminal and a pentester is that cyber criminals, they only need to find one way in, right? They just need to find one way in, and they can use social engineering, and there's no scope for them to. There's no law. I mean, there are laws, but they don't follow the law, so there's basically no scope. Whereas a pen tester, there's rules that the rules of engagement. There's a scope. There's certain things you can't do, certain attacks you can't do, and you're limited with what you can do. And plus, you're not looking for one way in. You're looking to find as much as you possibly can. So that's, I don't know. I think you're looking at it the wrong way. I don't think there's really, it doesn't matter like who's better, who's a pen tester or cyber criminals. They both have to have an intense amount of skills. In a way, cyber criminals I think would need more skills because they have to cover up their tracks a lot to get away with the crime. Pen tester, as a pen tester, I'm not covering on my tracks. Now, red teamer, you would need to do that. That's a whole other debate. Pen testing versus red teaming. Definitely a difference there, but we're not going to get into it here right now. I took first and second place in state regional CCDC, and I'm still looking to give y'all perspective on the job market. Good networking is key. Dang, that's crazy. You got first and second, and you're still looking for a job. That's wild. Oh yeah, I am going to go to DEF CON 33. I got my ticket, my flight, and my hotel already secured. Sorry it took me a minute to get to you, Cybersec. But yeah, I am going to DEF CON 33. Willing to meet up with anybody that wants to meet up. I don't know. It's my first DEF CON, so I don't know what I'm gonna get into. I haven't planned it out yet. I know there's a lot of people that want to meet with me, which I'm totally. That's the main reason why I'm going, is to meet people, right? And just being more involved with the community and network. What's up, Amon? Thanks for stopping in. Consistency's Pete. Yeah, consistency matters a lot. Do you think skilled pen testers may turn to crime because no one will hire them? Maybe. There's some that might do that, but I mean, some people are just, I guess, more susceptible, like turning to a life of crime than to not going to crime. Like for me, like it's off the table. Like it's never even crossed my mind. Like, oh, I want to be a black guy. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to do that, right? And that's obviously, like, if I was to get into that, I wouldn't be putting myself on the internet so much. But I mean, it's really no different than like a drug dealer. Like, why do people go to turn to crime for drug deals, right? They you know, there's people that, you know, they're struggling and they need to pay the bills, they need money, and they turn to crime. And like, no, not cyber crime, we're talking like other crime, like drug dealing, like robbing, stuff like that. And then there's other people that are in the same exact situation as the guy that went to crime, that does not go to crime and finds a different way to solve the problem, which might be lack of money in this case. And some people just like to throw a crime. Like, there's people that do crime It's not even for financial gain. They just do it for the thrill. That's the same thing with cyber criminals. Some people do it for the thrill, because JIP Jib. I think I'm saying it right. Thanks for following on Twitch. Yeah, there's some people that just they'll go in to get into cybercrime because it's more thrilling. It will always be more thrilling than a pen testing job, because a pen testing job is you're allowed to do this. You're not doing anything illegal, and it's pretty routine after a while. But if you go to a life of crime, it's like, well, this is not legal, and people, it's definitely more thrilling, right? There's more at stake, right? You know, I don't have to worry about, like, for example, me as a pen tester, I go to bed, and I don't got to worry about the police knocking on my door, right? You know what I mean? And I get to sleep very well. Cyber criminal, they don't get that luxury, but some people like that, though. You know what I mean? They like the thrill of it. So I don't know. Back to the original question: do you think skilled pen testers may turn to a crime because no one will hire them? Some will, some won't. I think it's it just depends on the person. Some people, you know, when they're down on their luck, they go rob stores and sell drugs for money. And some people, when they're down on their luck, they do DoorDash and Uber. You know what I mean? So there's different kinds of people out there. That's awesome. My team is competing in blue team villages, and we got sponsored, so it will be my first time attending too. I need more certs is what's hurting me right now. I only have Sec Plus. That's crazy that you won a competition, but you don't have the certs, which is kind of crazy to me. I'm really stuck finding a job or even an internship. I have cert and some practical experience, but I don't know what happens, or just bad luck. There are less and less opportunities in India. Most of them are scam jobs. Starting position requires OCP, 2+ years experience, sometimes even more. Really stuck. Well, you can get OCP. There's nothing really stopping you from getting that. I mean, maybe a financial barrier there. But yeah, I would recommend getting, if you feel that's a barrier, then knock that down. You can control that. 2 years experience, there's ways to make up for that, but there are less and less opportunities. I just got done ranting about, I don't know if you was here about for that or not. There are less and less opportunities, and the competition is definitely steep. We got a lot of people trying to break into the field and not enough positions, and that's a fact. But yeah, the only thing you can do is put in. You have two options. You can quit, or you can keep working. And I would recommend keep working if you really want it. Because once you get in, you're in. Once you got the experience, and you hang on to that job for about a year, then like you're pretty much set for life. I mean, even if your company goes under or lets you go, like you can probably find another job after that. How do you prepare for OSCP? I have a full video on that. Check out my YouTube channel on how I passed OSCP on my first try. But basically, I did like a bunch of certs before OSCP, and then I just did the OSCP training material that they give you. Where do we even start? Consider me a rookie. Once again, go to my YouTube channel, kyserclark.com. Sorry, youtube.com/kyserclark. You can also go to my website, kyserclark.com, and I'll give you all the links to all my stuff as well. And I have all your answers are there, man. I have tons of videos that talk about how to get into pen testing, how to start as a cybersecurity beginner, how to get into other positions, cybersecurity engineer, cybersecurity analyst. Tons of beginner friendly content there. I just put a link in the chat for you. Click that and yeah, just go to the, you can check out the playlist there and check out the videos I got there. And it'll set you up. If you have any questions after watching this, let me know. Alright, we got the password here, I believe. Let's go ahead and finish this lab. So this is 5A, 2E, 7E, 6M, 4N. Where's 0? Is this? Okay, so yeah, you're welcome, man. Alright, so we got the first letter of U. And by the way, I'm getting this right here. So we see position 0, U. We go up here to the next one. We gotta find position 1, which is an S. So we'll put S on our notes here. And then we'll go up to position 2, that's 3. That's 4. Look for 2. There's 7. Here's 2. 2 is E, as you can see right here. Position 2, letter E. So E. So now we're looking for position 3, which is right here. Position 3, R. So R. It's spelling user. Okay, we gotta find position 4. Is N. N. Is it username? If that's the... That seems wrong. Is 7... Is... Yeah, it's username. That seems wrong to me. Oh, notice that the characters in the payload 2 column spell out the name of the parameter. Username. Repeat the above steps to identify further JSON parameters. You can do this by anchoring the index of the keys array. Oh. Notice that one of the JSON patterns for test identify password fields. Okay, that makes sense. So I gotta figure out. So let's go back to intruder and do 2 maybe? Username 2. Let's get the start attack here. Why is it not doing anything? Let's close out of this. Discard. Close out of this. Discard. Let's change this to a 3 maybe? Start attack. Let's see what we get. Still nothing. Yeah, a bunch of errors. So I hit discard. Let's try 0 maybe. Start attack. Still a bunch of errors. discard. Let's try 1 again. I think I don't know. I think I talked too much and the lab reset on me. Yeah. That's what it seems like. Let's go ahead and close out of this and try it again. Access the lab. I hate the PortSwigger Web Security Academy will close the lab off when I don't want it to, but then when I want it to reset, it doesn't, you know? I hate it. It's probably my least favorite learning platform, actually. It frustrates me every time I get on it. I need to take this request here and replace it here. And this should work once again. Nope. Brother, why? So position 1 is numbers 0 to 20. Position 2 is A to Z, lowercase a to Z capital, and 0 to 9. Please work. There we go. Now it's working again. I don't know why it wasn't working last time, but let's go ahead and discard on this. Okay, now we want to change this 1 to 0 maybe. Hit start attack and see what we get here.
Access granted.
Chill Hill, thanks for subscribing on YouTube. I appreciate you. I got ID. Yeah, so that's not it, I don't think. So let's change this to a 2. Start attack. This is probably a password. So position 2. If positions of 2 is an A. Sorry, position 1 is an A. Zeros. Where the heck is 1? Can't find it. Yeah, this is password. Okay. Let's go ahead and hit discard. Let's try this for 3. See what we get here. Oh, I guess we can do position. Oh, I can see it either. I don't have to click. 0 is E. M. Pull my notepad here. Close this. So we got position 1 is E. Position 1 is M. Position 2 is A. Position 3 is I, so it's email. Okay, well that doesn't do us any good. Alright, so I don't understand what the point of this attack is. Alright, well, that didn't do anything. I don't understand what the point of that was. Didn't feel like it led me anywhere. Obviously, the position. Yeah, like I know the printers are email password. So I'll see here. Update the where parameter as follows. The password reset link that you exfiltrated in the previous step. What do you mean? I didn't exfiltrate a password. Oh, I skipped a step. Oops. We need to do get forget password. Submit an invalid field in the URL. Get forget. So we'll do this. Inverse Chi, thanks for following on Twitch. I appreciate you. So we're gonna take this and paste it here. I guess. What's up, Inverse Chi? Thanks for stopping in. Learning about infosec stuff, and so cool to find a channel about it too. Glad to be here. Glad you found me. Glad you found a channel. And yeah, I love making content about cybersecurity. I'm trying to do NoSQL injection at the moment. Wrote a simple tool to find targets from certificate transparency log. Nice. Oh, nice. That's cool. You wrote your own tool. Nice. In the previous step, I didn't know what. I thought it was just password. I didn't get a password parameter token. I got ID, username, password, email. My voice is low. Make it louder. I wasn't talking just now. Does it sound better now? Also, Sudan, Sean Harry. Thanks for stopping in. Well, I probably said your name completely wrong. I am sorry about that. I don't understand. It says your token name. I thought it was just password. Now I'm just confused. What do I think the biggest infosec risks are for this year? AI, 100%, because people are putting AI in pretty much everything nowadays. Every employee's using it, and there is a lot of risk there that people don't understand. Like AI pentesting tools to automate this? No, I'm talking about like just like the general people like in an organization using AI. and we got like managers and owners and CEOs and like executives like, oh, we need to use AI for everything because we don't want to be left behind, which is true. You want to incorporate the new technology, but people are adopting it fast, and there's risks that they don't understand, and that's the problem. We got employees who are using it to help with their jobs, but they're putting sensitive data in the AI, and then when you feed the AI sensitive information, then they can learn off of that, and then attackers can potentially get sensitive information. For example, if I put in a bunch of sensitive information to ChatGPT and an attacker hacks my ChatGPT account, then they got a treasure trove of information. And furthermore, there's prompt injection to get information from what other users have said. So what guardrails could help? I think the best thing you can do right now is to limit what you're allowed to use. Like, for example, for a company, hey, you can only use Copilot, or hey, you can only use ChatGPT. You can't use whatever you want because we only vetted one. And just pick one tool that you want your team to use and stick with it. And then have a policy saying what's acceptable to put in AI chatbots and what's not acceptable to put in AI chatbots. And then you need to have training. You need to make sure people are trained on what's allowed to be put in these and what's not allowed to be put in these. And I think that's the best guardrail. So user training is where it comes down to, and policy, and then enforcement. You need to put in some kind of detection measures to, help determine if people are breaking the policies. Easier said than done, but that's what I would say is the guardrails for that. Can we start OSCP with 0 to no knowledge? You can. It will be very difficult. OSCP is very difficult when you go in with experience. When I went in with, I think I had 10 certifications before OSCP or something like that, or 9. Yeah, I think I had 10 certs before I started OSCP, and it was still difficult. So, and I had experience, so it's hard. Trust me. You can start it, but if you're struggling, then don't be afraid to take a step back and go learn some of the basic stuff, because they don't cover a lot of the basics. It assumes that you know a lot of the basics already. Just says password. The whole shift left what security engineers do. Yeah. I have done 2 certs and just started today. What certs have you done? I mean, that's no experience. Was 0 knowledge. So you got, if you have 2 certs, then you're on the right track, I would say. I mean, you don't need to have 10 certs like I did. I do everything overkill. But yeah, I mean, having 1 or 2 definitely helps. Especially if you got like a junior pentesting cert like EJPT or PJPT or PT1 or one of those 3. If you got one of those, then you're good. I would say that's the best 3 certs. You only need 1 of them, but just choose one of those 3, and then that's a good precursor for OCP, in my opinion. Ever been threatened to be sued when reporting exploits? No, because I'm a full-time pen tester, so I don't do responsible disclosures. I don't just hack into things willy-nilly without permission and then do responsible disclosures. Full-time pen tester companies, they hire my firm to do a pen test, and that's exactly what they want. They want us to report exploits. And I mean, I guess if I went out of scope and report an exploit out of scope, they could sue us, but I haven't done that because I don't go out of scope. What we do is as a gray box pen test, so we get some information but not all of it when we're doing pen tests. Ever done that on IoT setups? I have done one IoT pen test, yes. Mostly it was only Bluetooth though, so it wasn't, I don't know. It was I guess every IoT pen test is different, I guess. So yes, it was a Bluetooth device that I had to pen test. Yeah, it's just got to be password. It says your token name. It's got to be password. So let's just change this. Your token name equals password. Hit send on this, see what happens. What's the most obvious thing you've seen companies screw up on? I would say patch management is the most obvious, because you run a vulnerability scanner and you just see a bunch of these time critical things that pop off, and it's usually due to outdated software because they didn't patch. So patch management's number one from what I've seen. As far as the network side of things, as far as web app stuff, I would say the most obvious thing, man, it's really tough because some companies got one thing locked down and something else left wide open. But I mean, for web apps, it's just the OAuth.10. You see the OAuth.10 popping up all the time. So it just depends on the company. You know, one might struggle with injection, one might struggle with access control, for example. So like SBOM, I don't know what SBOM. I don't know what you mean by that. Notice that you receive invalid token error message. I didn't see an invalid token. Like software build of materials, like list of all software and versions of a service. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Just not keeping track of that. I've actually never heard of it. SBOM as an acronym before. Or maybe I have, I just don't remember. It's not, I don't think it's a very common one. I don't know what the parameter is called. That's a problem. I don't know. See if I can. Oof. I'm gonna pop this YouTube video up and see if I can see what parameters they're talking about here. It says it's unlocked token. I don't know how I was supposed to get that. Yeah, I don't know. It didn't teach me how to do that. That's kind of crazy how even the solution doesn't tell me how to do that. Okay. Well, now that we know that. So let's... You have an invalid token here. What? Please enter your username or path or email. That's crazy. It should say, oh my god, this is frustrating me. No, I don't run Kali on WSL. I'm running it in VMware right now. What do you think about SANS courses, and should someone attempt the exam if they have all the learning material from previous years? I mean, if you have all the learning material, yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. The exam's the cheap part. The exam's $950. The training is like 9,000. So if you got the training, then you already got the hard part out of the way. I hate this lab so much. Like, I literally don't like this lab at all. It doesn't explain nothing. It's so hard to follow this. And then the solution that I found doesn't match this at all. That's what makes it hard. I'm so over this lab. I do not want to do this, but I'm so close to being done. It just doesn't make any sense to me. This is why I don't like PortSwigger Web Security Academy. Like they do not, their explanations are not good, and then the community solutions are not, like this one's not matching up with the lab. Is a good VPN or proxy is a must for pen testing? What should be considered just one of the usual providers, or what works well in the industry? I would say your own VPN, like you make your own, is the standard, or you go through a third party provider that's trusted and secured. Like definitely don't use a free VPN. And definitely you want to get a VPN where your IP address stays static, because you want to, when you're doing pen testing for a client, you want your IP address to be the same. Now for bug bounty, probably a little bit different. You probably don't need that. You're not gonna have clients, I guess. But for pen testing full time, you want the IP address to be static. That way, when they whitelist your IP address, they, like, you can get in, but the attackers can't if they whitelist your IP address. Or they want, if they see traffic come from an IP address that it looks malicious, like, oh, that's our pen tester that we hired, and you would tell them, hey, this is my public IP address, and you would use a VPN for that, because you don't want the client to know like your home IP address. You know what I mean? Especially, and also, like if you work on a firm like I do, we got a handful of pen testers on the team. We all got different home IP addresses, but if we all use the same IP address, then or the same VPN, we all got the same IP address. So if they whitelist that one IP address, then anybody can work on the project, right? They don't need to whitelist a bunch of IP addresses. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Bro, I don't understand this lab. It's actually driving me nuts. I don't like this lab at all. It doesn't make any sense. The solution that they give you in this video does not. I'm looking over here and it's like, dude, this is not, like, none of this is equal to that. It's just crazy to me. It all made sense up to this point. Well, up to this point. Get forgot password. See, I typed this in, but somehow this is probably the worst PortSwigger lab I've seen. So my token name is unlock token. It says not found. Oh, that's because I'm doing 2 gets. Nice. What's up, Koala Wole? Thanks for stopping in, man. How you doing, man? Dude, you've been annihilating the search, bro. Actually, no, I think I got you mixed up with somebody else. Or maybe not. Thanks for stopping it. I don't know what to do. I'm not following along in this at all. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like I'm doing exactly what they're telling me to do. I guess maybe ID. Maybe this changes. I did see an ID, so let's try this.
Access granted.
Thanks, Talent32, for following on Twitch. Appreciate you. So it's saying use 3. So let's go back to intruder. Do 3. Start attack. Which one? So we got email. 3 is email. Bro, my live does not look like that. I don't know what to do. I do not know what to do. I don't know how to progress in this. I'm literally following it step by step, and then it's not giving me what it should be giving me. It's driving me absolutely bonkers right now. Like it's actually making me mad because I feel like the lab's broken per usual for the PortSwigger Web Security Academy is typically broken and not very good. You type in a 4, you don't get nothing. Let's type in a 5. See if there's a 5th parameter somewhere. What's gibberish to me since it's just starting to get into cybersecurity as a hobby? Well, you gotta start somewhere. And it's all confusing at first. I mean, I get confused every day, so it's totally okay. The solution to this is so not accurate. Go back to intruder. Let's update the where clause here. Your token. So it should be unlock token. It's a lifestyle one in the stream. Thanks for stopping in. Would you recommend starting off with Net Plus and Sec Plus certs? Yeah, that's actually what I recommend the most to people. My first certification was Security Plus. I think Network Plus, getting that first is better than getting Security Plus first. But you can get Security Plus first if you want to do it for some reason that way. I recommend Net Plus first, then Sec Plus. And that's actually what I recommend in pretty much all my videos. That's my top recommendation to get started. This lab is not working, bro. Okay, because I'm close to finishing the study material for both and trying to see what to go after next. After security, so if you do Net Plus and Security Plus, after that, I would go. This is gonna sound crazy, but Pentest Plus after Security Plus. If you want to be a pen tester, if you're trying to be a SOC analyst or cybersecurity analyst, then get CISA Plus for your next one. What's up, YouTubers Club? 85 million views. That's a lot of views. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping in. Glad to see you here. Bro, I don't know. This lab is just not it. It doesn't. I think it's broken. Either it's broken or the directions just suck. It's probably both. I wish it wasn't the case. Alright guys, I'm gonna get off. I'm done. I accidentally closed out a burst, so I didn't mean to do that. That lab is just... It's just broken, dude. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I don't... It's really annoying, dude. It's like they don't even, like, read, like, what they type on the PortSwigger Web Security Academy. These are so stupid. What do you mean? I'd like to get this done. Man, burst weight is just being on one today, man. This is the most ridiculous lab I've ever seen. I said Pentest Plus or CYSA Plus for CompTIA. If you want to go cybersecurity analyst or SOC analyst, CYSA Plus would be the way you want to go. If you want to be a pentester or a red teamer, then go for Pentest Plus. I have full learning path, full roadmaps for each position: pentester, SOC analyst, cybersecurity analyst, and cybersecurity engineer on YouTube. I have videos for each of those. Alright, so I gotta do my account. Forgot password, I guess. Or no, I don't know. I gotta start all the way over, man. We want to do the post login. Now it's broken, bro. Of course. Why would it not be broken? Why would it work? You know what I mean? I just don't understand why it's got to be way harder than it has to be. I don't understand. Oh, I understand why now. Okay, gosh. Let's go back. Can I go back? Proxy. This should work. Yeah, it's working now. Okay. So we got USER, yeah, username. Okay. So that worked. Now we want to do 2 start attack. This is password. Yeah. Okay, discard. So 2, 3. This should be email. Yeah. Okay. This should be something else. I think it's ID. There's no 4. Okay. What if I change this to a 0? This should be ID. Yep. So I don't understand why it's not giving me the password, the token one. You know what I mean? 0 to 20. Dude, I think my lab is broken. That's the only thing that's the only logical conclusion I can come up with for this. Is that my lab is broken. Because it's not giving me anything it's not giving me any kind of token thing, so let's just close out the lab here. And I'm just gonna move on. I'm gonna skip it for now. We'll finish reading. Timing based injection. Sometimes triggering database error doesn't cause a difference in application response. In this situation, you may still be able to detect and exploit the vulnerability by using JavaScript injection to trigger a conditional time delay. To conduct timing based NoSQL injection, load the page several times to determine the baseline loading time. Insert a timing based payload into the input. A timing based payload causes an intentional delay to the response when executed. For example, where sleep 5000 causes an intentional delay of 5000 milliseconds on successful injection. Identify whether the response loads more slowly. This indicates a successful injection. The following timing based payloads will trigger a time delay if the password begins with letter A. Preventing NoSQL injection. The appropriate way to prevent NoSQL injection attacks depends on the specific NoSQL technology in use. As such, we recommend reading the security documentation for your NoSQL database of choice. That said, the following broad guidelines will also help. Sanitize and validate user input using an allow list of accepted characters. Insert user input as prioritized queries instead of concatenating user directly into the query. To prevent operator injection, allow lists of accepted keys. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and skip that lab because it's broken and I don't feel like waiting around because it takes like a half hour for these things to reset and I don't have a half hour of time to spare. So, that will be for another stream. I'll probably start off the next PortSwigger Security Academy with that one and we'll go from there. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Catch you on the next stream, same time next week. Check out my other YouTube videos if you haven't already. Peace out. Take care. Have a good one. Kyser.